Okay, thank you for being here today. As he just said, our topic today is about making your message matter, and the focus is on mobile marketing and specifically on filtering messages. And both of our speakers today are experts in this area. We have Oren from AppsFlyer and Nami from Truecaller. Now, Nami, let's start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about how Truecaller works and how it also can work to help brands while still protecting consumers from spam?
Sure. So basically, Truecaller enables consumers and businesses all over the world to present and represent themselves in an accurate way. And the reason that is important is because as people start to use their mobile phones more and more, their smartphones, it's kind of ironic that the #1 app in your phone, which is the call and the texting app, doesn't actually have any identity. Meaning, if I am calling you, you don't know who I am. You just see a phone number. Or if I'm texting you, and you always have to ask, like, who is this, and so on. So we solve that problem. And we also block out spam calls and spam text messages from your phone. And basically, what this leads to is that if you think about the Google kind of search bar that was introduced in the early 2000s, when you were visiting websites, there would be spam popping up from left to right. And the Google search bar kind of effectively blocked that out and created a search engine where you could, based on your intent, the different businesses could target you and reach out to you more effectively and basically make their marketing more effective. And we're doing the same thing, but on the phone call side. So whenever you're receiving phone calls, we're blocking out the irrelevant calls. And we're creating advertisement platform which marketers can use to reach consumers based on their intentions or their call intents.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Oren, your company is focused on helping brands to pinpoint their ad targeting and optimize their ad spend and ultimately boost their ROI. Do marketers really understand the technology that they're working with? You know, what could they be doing better?
So my answer is no. And I think that this is in the process of completely changing advertising and marketing globally. So up until recently, it was one size fits all. It was TV, it was newspaper, it was these big agencies spending a lot of money on commercial ads that been trying to create something that fits the entire audience, but this is completely rubbish in this internet era. And I think that this is the process of advertisers and marketers starting to understand that they need to personalize everything they do. Up until now, it was one size fits all on the marketing side, and then sales did the personalization. They asked the questions, who you are, how can I help you, how can I adapt the product to fit your needs. And I think that this should be carried out to the entire life cycle of touching the clients from brand recognition. Now, if you ask me about the company and about what we do in marketing, we don't have one pitch. We have many, many pitches. Actually, we have unlimited number of pitches. So we talk with the client, we understand their needs and the measurement needs, and this is how we pitch. We're very busy. Everybody here is very busy, right? And you want vendors to do the thinking for you. Don't make me think. This is something that we are, as a company, embarrassing, and this is how we help our clients, app developers and marketers to do their job.
So what should marketers be doing differently to better filter their message and target their message using, this is for both of you, using the apps that you've created? What should they be doing differently?
I'll start by,
Please.
There's a lot of things you can do differently, a lot of things. So start by measuring. Now, when we started the company in 2011 and 12, I saw app marketers and app developers been spraying their message all over the place, thinking that maybe something will catch, right? And this is basically known as spray and pray, when the media is very cheap and they don't know what they're doing. Basically, they didn't know what they're doing because they told me, yes, we measure CPM and we measure CPC. And the matter of fact is that this measurement is completely wrong for one thing. I'll give you an example for one initial client that we had. It was a taxi ride app. They had a campaign in the US, and they told us, yeah, it was very good campaign, very high CPM and CPC. And then we gave them our tracking link that basically measures the entire thing. And there was absolutely no conversions, no installs whatsoever. So the network and the guys that you're actually paying them money, right, said, you know, something is completely broken with the software. It doesn't work. So I went back to my CTO, and I told him, listen, maybe there is a bug, you know. And we look at the data, and we saw completely, I'll be very precise. It was a US-based campaign. Traffic came from all over the place, from Indonesia. Mm-hmm. By the way, you cannot install that app in Indonesia. We saw Android traffic coming to iOS App Store. How can you install an Android app on an iOS phone, on an Apple phone, right? You can't do that. By the way, there was one install. One of the guys in the network side was testing this measurement to see if it works. We saw the details. So this is how wrong advertisers were, and I think that we are in the process of understanding that we need to measure the true value for the advertiser and for the publisher and for the end user. Because if you think about one size fits all, you just forget about the user.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I think I have a kind of different angle coming at it from the kind of phone call side, where there tends to be a lot of spam calls. Globally, Truecaller is blocking out over 600 million spam calls every month for our users. And recently, in one of the brands that reached out to us, they were intending to do kind of mass calls to a couple of thousands of consumers in India to market a new car. This was Tata Motors that had a brand campaign together with Lionel Messi, who would call people up and basically tell them about this new fantastic car. Now, since all of these numbers are marked as spam in Truecaller, the pickup rate are very low. But what we did when that brand reached out to us was we created a format where they were still marked as spam for the phone numbers that were marked as spam. But the difference here is that when the phone call happens, it will say that it's Tata Motors or Lionel Messi calling you, and there will be a greeting message from Lionel Messi when users answers the call. And so suddenly people feel much more involved with that advertisement, and that message makes much more sense to them when they know who's calling them. So that's one of the ways that we're kind of working together with brands to create a format that works both for them and increases engagement and speaks to the curiosity of human nature, while still creating a lot of engagement. Another way that we've worked together with brands is one of the larger cab hailing and taxi kind of services that want to target specifically the industry of transportation services. So if you've made a call or received a call from any number belonging to a transportation service, then during the past 7 days, then they wanted to be able to target those specific users. So kind of doing an audience segmentation based on call behavior. And that's one of the campaigns that we've helped pull off, solely built on like our platform with segmentation and so on. But there's a lot of cool companies out there that have very specific audience targeting capabilities that kind of get drenched in the commotion of all other advertisement platforms, the larger ones. And if you know, you're a CMO, or if you're working with acquisition, for instance, at a specific company, looking at those alternatives is something I can highly encourage, because from what we've seen, both from our own experience on the acquisition side, but also on you know, pushing out these campaigns together with partners, is that you can create a lot more engagement than you would usually receive from just doing very basic, let's say, Facebook ads that get saturated over like a month or two.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned engagement several times here. What are the KPIs that you use on campaigns like Lionel Messi or the taxi one? Is it, what kind of engagement levels would be considered a successful campaign?
So the Lionel Messi campaign, for instance, was how many calls were actually picked up, which is like, and then they have a different funnel, which is how many people actually stay on board on the call. And what they noticed was that when they did this campaign together with Truecaller, the call pickup rate was significantly higher, up towards 60% higher. And the number of people who stayed on board and actually listened to the complete message was 15% higher. So altogether, it was a much more successful campaign, because you know, they engaged in this alternative kind of platform that helped them spread the word in a way that fits their kind of market. But I guess you have a lot more experience in this space with like the KPIs of advertisers.
I also have experience getting this annoying messages on my phone and annoying calls. You know, I'm being contacted like, I don't know, like maybe 5 times a day for IT services. I don't need IT services, okay? And I think that this goes along the way that marketing needs to completely change and be personalized, because in the end of the day, in the digital world, you can personalize each and every message that you have out there. There is no one size fits all, and personalize is about what this individual is looking for right now. I think that I mean, what we do is basically measurement. We don't help them in the media buying process. This is the agency job. What we do is, it's kind of a new kid in the block, I mean, the last 4 years, I would say, of an independent measurement platform that being adopted by large advertisers and ad networks on the other side. We partnered with Facebook in very early days when Facebook launched their mobile app install ads, or mobile ads. Back then, in 2012, Facebook stock was around $22. The IPO was $38. You know how Facebook stock now? More than 100, 110 or maybe more. It was 5x for Facebook in the course of for almost less than 4 years, like 3 years, 3.5 years. Now the question is why? The answer is because Facebook is doing a very good job in personalizing and giving advertising the ability to target. Well, we complete the picture is providing this feedback, this ROI. ROI is not just a number. ROI is a feedback whether your assumption is actually correct or not, whether you need to improve this or not. And the spend on Facebook, just I'm giving Facebook as an example because we are live on Facebook and because we are partners of Facebook. And because it's a public company and we have all these figures. So the amount of mobile ads that Facebook delivered, if it was in the end of 2012, it was 200 million a quarter in the last quarter. Now it's more than 4 billion a quarter, and a run rate of $20 billion in mobile ads. Now the question is why? My answer is because of measurement. Because advertisers found positive ROI, and they found a way to take $1 and make it $2. Mm-hmm. Now, if I show you a way to double your money every 2 weeks or every 1 month, what's your budget going to look like? Infinite, right? Mm-hmm. So the basic thing is measurement, and this is something that we've been working. I mean, our marketing strategy is education, by the way. This is our marketing strategy. So we have all the content in the blog, and we go to conferences, and we talk with a lot of advertisers. And it's education that with this two-sided network that created between app developers and media companies. It's education both ways. And some ad networks and publishers understand that this is a performance world, and they can no longer sell ads just to annoy people. Because what they're going to do? Install ad blocking.
Yeah, that was we only have a couple of minutes left. So the last question is, ad blocking software is becoming a lot more common across Asia. So how can marketers cope with that?
I would say that this is an industry problem, and it's a big problem, but the basic problem is advertisers and networks and media companies thinking that they can spray their message in the entire globe and hope that someone will install the app or someone will do that action because it's very cheap to do that. Think about how broken the model is. You take money, you give this money to another company to annoy clients. Mm-hmm. This is the advertising industry, guys. You take money, you give another company money to annoy the entire audience. Now, the whole industry is going into performance and measurement. So if there is a positive ROI, it means that you did something good for your end client. Someone found value in what you have to offer. So I think this is the vote of, I would say, users don't like to be annoyed. There's a lot of information in their mobile phone. They don't want to have anything else that they are not interested in.
Mm-hmm. Nami, do you have anything to add? We have a few seconds left, but anything on how to deal with ad blocking software and to not annoy people? That's
install Truecaller.
Okay, well, we are out of time now, so thank you very much. And thank you.
Thanks.